Alright, so I'm not expecting too much trouble out of this, and we'll see how badly I regret those poorly chosen words in a little while. Alright, so I don't think I need to do any modifications to the top except for to add one of these new power leads. And these guys here, I snagged these off some old computer gear quite a long time ago, and I've had them sitting around. Not as long ago as I had actually used the rail ties for the connectors, but long ago enough. So I'm going to be putting these in there. I just want to test fit these to make sure they actually fit with each other. So I'm going to put one of these coming out of the top. So I actually don't need two of these ends because one of them will be common coming through the stand. And now that I'm thinking of it, I think what I will have to do is actually put a hole in the stand and have the wire coming out so it can plug in that way. In order for this model to be flippable on both sides, the power lead would have to come all the way out and fit into the bottom here. In order to do that from this side, the top, that lead would have to stretch at least this long to fit all the way down there. Not a problem, but that lead also has to fit back in the body here, and I don't see a lot of room for that. I don't particularly want to go cutting this plastic away because that is definitely a rat's nest under there. If, on the other hand, I simply have the lead sticking out like this, yeah, very simple, huh? So if I have the lead sticking out like this so it hides underneath this bridge here nice and easily, that means I need the other lead coming out of the pipe, something like that, so that it can be plugged in and rested upside down. If that's the case, then when I flip it over to this side, I similarly need a lead coming out of it, so maybe I will keep that hole open there. It looks like these few magnets have fallen loose. So yeah, the idea was to be able to run the wire all the way out and have it hanging like that, but then I wouldn't be able to hide that in there either. So it's not the most elegant solution, however, it is a solution. And actually, for display purposes, I'll still have a lead sticking out of this. Or will I? So I'm going to have to finagle with this for a little while and move things around and see what I really think about this, I guess. Yeah, so that would be sticking out of there like that, essentially. The other alternative is to drill a new hole, which doesn't look too likely given the state of everything here. I'm just trying to get an idea of what's going on here. So this little bit of silver here is the magnet to hold the cover in place. There's some styrene going down the middle there. And then these rails are hooked up right next to that. I'm probably not going to be able to break these loose very easily. I guess I should have been recording this after all. There's a big skin of what looks to be white glue that was kind of loose, and I just managed to pop loose the entire assembly here. So that's another plus for using super glue over something like model cement. So I should be able to snip these leads loose. Oh. So that one's come loose already, and let's clip that one there. This is very thick, solid core wire. It's got to be in the 18 gauge range. Far too thick for use on this model. It was probably all I had at the time. So there we go. We have a brand new, nice, empty slot for the power. And hopefully we haven't twisted any knickers. Let's see here. Suppose it would help to have the power supply plugged in, but you never know. Okay, so everything is still lighting up, which is always a good sign. So this was definitely quite the solid piece of work. It looks like several pieces of styrene flipped over each other, then severely glued in. So the problem with this connection was that these rails were a bit too well buried into the material here. If they had a little more play, that they could have stuck out a little more by themselves. So if I had connected them further up and left this bottom area free, this connection would have been perfect. But that was not the case. I soon realized it at the time. However, there wasn't really a lot I could do about it. So there's a few wires buried into this blob of white glue, so I'm just going to leave. Well, did I just free them? Now if I can pry this out of here without actually ripping any wires up, I'll do it. And indeed, yes. We'll throw that out. So the white glue was probably a good idea at one point. But take a look at this guy here. Let's see if that's powered up. It almost looked like it burned out. No? Huh, strange. I'll bet that having this little LED on all this time, that one too right next to it. Having the LED on for hours probably heated up the white glue. I'm seeing a loose magnet there, a loose magnet here. There's another one. So it looks like I pulled up a few magnets from the top. One there, one here. Got 2, 3 there, a couple here. So I'm probably going to seal this up for good. So that will not be a problem. Back to the power port here. Now if I can glue this in flush, that would not be a bad solution, but I'd probably have to build up the area so much. There's not a lot of room here, as you can see. So what I think I'll probably do is cut out this last remaining bit of garbage. Like so. Connect these 2 leads right to those springs right there. Then this can at least be pushed back in. And hopefully it can't get lost. I think that may work.